everybody, it's Tanya here. Welcome to this series called Starseed Chat. And today we're going to talk about what it means to be multidimensional. This is an excerpt from a podcast I did with Wendy Wright of Light Always Wins, and you can listen to the full podcast by clicking on the description, and there's links in there. All right, I'll catch you on the other side.
Looking up certain pieces of history and stuff like that. But I'm just fascinated by the galactic thing because it's just so vast, you know? And and it's funny, like the whole starseed thing. Some people feel like you know, people think they're special if they're like a starseed or something. And I always wonder, like, and I'm curious what your theories are. Like, have we all had galactic lives? You know, or yeah. That's what I think.
I think so. So this goes back to discernment, which is allowing what works for you and what feels good for you to guide you, and let go of what does not. So this is my own personal point of view, and for me, that is that all of us sentient beings on the earth at this time are living a multidimensional existence, meaning that we are living right now in this, 3D density, but also at a higher vibration. And by higher vibration, I don't mean that it's better or worse, it's just a vibration. So one of my favorite examples to explain that simply is a hummingbird, simply because they come and overwinter here. So they're outside all the time. So if you see a hummingbird in motion, you can't see her wings, right? Because they're going like this, super fast, super fast. So they're in a different vibration. If you were in the same vibration as she was, you would see it like this, right? It's kind of like time-lapse photography, it would be slower. So a higher vibration is simply a vibration that we are not visually aware of, but emotionally and spiritually and sometimes mentally you are. So this is very much like the channeling process, that you are aware that there is something outside of you. So for you, you were saying sometimes you're hearing voices and whatnot. For me, it's a matter of feeling the flavor of the energy that's there.
That's the thing. I'm just mesmerized by the whole starseed concept.
So was I when I came across it. And I thought it was fascinating because for me, I don't actually see myself as a starseed, but yet I see all of us as starseeds. And by that, I mean, this is where I was going with the multidimensional aspect, that you might be living an Earth life, but you might also be having an existence, let's say, on Antares. Or you might be Pleiadian, connected with that, or you might be connected with Arcturus or Antarian. There are many different starseed groups that we've recognized, and those are only within our own perceptible galaxy. Think outside the box, there's even more. So I think what it is a unifying force for many people that are coming into what a lot of us call the Great Awakening or the Great Shift, where you've opened up and suddenly said, I'm not so mainstream anymore. There are these possibilities. There are these options that I had never considered. There is more to this experience than I had ever thought. Let's go play. And so,
I love that. And then it's like the ones who have gotten into it can then be there for the next people that say, I'm starting to like feel these weird things. And then they've got someone to relate to and go, oh, it's totally fine. Like I'm multidimensional too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of a lot of the teachings that come through in the channeling that I do are very clear about how this process works in their point of view. And that's something that I hear a lot of, like we've been through these states of difficulty because we're here to help those who are coming. And so this is where the term Wayshower comes from, that you are showing the way for those who are about to go through what you went through. Some people like the word beacon or lighthouse. It all means the same thing. It means you've been through this. You now have the ability to share your knowledge, your energy, your experience, and that's going to help people who are going through what you've been through. And that leads into Dark Night of the Soul and all of that. But I just want to finish the Starseed thing because I think this is something where a lot of people get really fascinated, but also get really stuck because it's something new and exciting and you want to go play and you're like, I read this list and this list was me and no one has ever related to me before. And it said, I'm sensitive. Yeah. And I care about people. Yeah. And I feel a connection to the stars. Yeah. And then you read these lists and some of them are very specific, but some of them, you got to be honest, are kind of a Myers-Briggs lowdown of personality types, And so you see that INFP and all of that jazz are basically the checklist. So yes, many people will read that and go, I must be a starseed.
Mm-hmm.
But you are, because you're on Earth at this time, and everybody that's on Earth at this time is connected to the same energy. We're all here together. And there is this great component of the human experience called the ego, where we separate ourselves from the earth and get all into our brains and very logical and forget that you're as much a part of the earth as she is of you. And that without the earth, you are not independent. And I think that's where a lot of things are starting to change now. This is where a lot of the difficulty and the it's such a rabbit hole, but where a lot of the things that we have done as a race have really caused a detrimental effect.
Mm.
And I think it's starting to change because we're waking up now and saying, wait, we're connected to this. We're responsible for this. We can make the change. And so in that aspect, I believe that all people are starseeds, meaning that you have a connection to an awareness of information that is not solely from the earth and not from the teachings that you have been brought up with, not from the experiences that you have had, not from the media that you were blasted with, but this information that triggers something inside of you. And that's part of the work that I do. It's activations. So it's allowing you to remember something that was already there and turning that on. And so many people see starseeds, and that's that first step into the journey, because it's that, again, it's that checklist that makes you go, I am connected to something outside of the mainstream, and there's other people like me, and holy smokes, I can't believe it. Someone's going to understand me. Someone's going to see me. And I think that connection is the basis of so much of the experience that a lot of us have really been missing.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And hey, if you have any questions, pop them in below. I love to hear from you guys and I answer all of them. Thanks so much for checking out the video. I am Tanya. I am a light code activator. I am a crystal whisperer, and I am a channeler of spirit. And I'm here to help you have a really great awakening journey. All right, check it out. And up there's a link to more in this series. And I hope you join me for another conversation with Wendy from Light Always Wins. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.